Hey, welcome back. We're talking about Intu-Flow again today. If you haven't already seen the first video on Intu-Flow, it's called The Rings of CST Part 1. Go watch that one. If you've already seen it, by now you should be a good ways into your Intu-Flow practice. And if you have seen it but haven't been doing your Intu-Flow, go smack yourself, watch Intu-Flow, do it for a while, and then come back here. Because what we're doing today is troubleshooting some of the common issues that people run into when they first begin their Intu-Flow practice. First thing. Lateral neck translation. We've got our head, and ideally we want to imagine that it's on a flat surface like a table, and you're just sliding it left to right, something like this. Now what happens is oftentimes people substitute with their shoulders, this comes into play, or their head starts tilting, and we want that to go away. So one thing that you can do is close this chain up here by clasping your hands together, rolling your shoulders back and pushing them down as if there's a heavy weight in there. And what that does is sort of free up some of the memory in your computer, your nervous system, so that it can focus on moving just this. And what you want to do is pay attention to every little sensation and focus on doing it slowly and not moving into tension. You don't want anything to hurt, but do it slowly enough that you can get it right. And over time, you will develop this movement more fluidly, but you won't get it if you rush through and allow yourself to be sloppy. Now, we've already talked about being masters. We are masters in everything we do here at Stillness, so we're not going to do that, right? You're not going to do that. Another one is this shoulder. The shoulder circle. Oftentimes, we forget to keep our elbow locked, so in pursuit of this big circle, we miss out on all of the benefits because this lies, this cheats for us, and it makes us think that we're drawing a bigger circle than we really are. Because when we lock our elbow and we pack our shoulder down, we often find that our circle is much smaller. And hey, if your shoulder circle is this big, that's fine. You'll get it in time as long as you adhere to form. Last one we're going to cover is the wrists. We often have a hard time moving our wrists around our hands. Most people are used to moving their hands around their wrists, and you'll find that in Intu-Flow that's not the case. That's not what we're doing because we're trying to isolate all of these joints in the beginner level. So something you can imagine is like if you were on a motorcycle, okay, when these big rides here and your wrists come up, they're high up, and when you rev it, the wrist comes down. Another one you can imagine is if any of you hopefully have seen the old Karate Kid movie, you remember Daniel painting up and down, okay? When my wrist is down, it's not that I'm lifting my hand up, it's that I'm driving the heel of my palm down and then raising it back up. So again, if I grab this thing, this is my motorcycle handle, okay? I want my wrist moving up and down around this central axis. Not this. And you can do the same thing for side to side because that's another one people have trouble with. They want to do this instead of this. It externally might seem like a slight difference, but once you start doing this right and start trying to move into the more advanced levels, you'll really see why it's important to focus on the form here. While we're talking about the advanced levels, that's something else I want to bring up. Don't be one of those people you'll see that do Intu-Flow for like a day and a half and are jumping to the master level already. You know, they're like, oh yeah, I've been doing this and I'm at the master level and check me out. And it's ridiculous. It's like master level, you've mastered Intu-Flow, mastered it, really? You haven't. Okay? Stick to the basics because the benefits of the advanced levels won't be available to you until you've mastered everything that comes before it. You can do some of that stuff and get some benefit out of it, but it's not the same. And you won't totally understand what that means unless you've gone through the process, I promise you. Just because you can approximate the appearance of some of those more advanced moves doesn't mean that you're actually effectively replicating the internal experience and therefore gleaning all of the benefits that are possible by doing the advanced moves, okay? So stick with the basics, keep doing your practice daily, diligently. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section or leave a comment on the Stillness Gym's Facebook wall and we'll see you later.